I'm a bad motherfucker.
Hey, guess what? Ian Curl tweets out, breaking, the Daily Wire is offering fired employees $3,000 to sign gag orders so they won't expose the Daily Wire's lies about the real Candace Owen. And
$3,000.
Wow.
Do they not pay them well? Like, why would that be?
Well, they got a bunch of, so if they paid all of them, it would be like, it would be a lot of money. I don't.
Just lame, man.
I think, but anonymous sources told me that they've lost at least 25 people lately who are going to places like Tucker Carlson, PBD's podcast, and Dave Ramsey. Nobody's sent me an email. I could use help. We always could use help. All this while last night at Turning Point, Candace Owens. Wait till you see this.
I want to ask Rob about this.
Candace Owens exposed how
you saw that?
Daily Wire sent an intern to pose as a student to try to get compromising material about her.
That's weird. That's weird to engage in ops.
Yeah. Honestly, is anyone else starting to wonder if Ben Shapiro is connected to Mossad?
Starting?
Really? I think you're better off trying to figure out who isn't connected to Mossad.
What do you think? Hey, do you think? I wonder, could there be a thing going on?
These are the tactics of intelligence agencies, not news agencies, and an agenda is clear. Israel first, Christianity be damned, America be damned. What do you think? Well, here's his, watch this.
There's more leaks coming out of the Daily Wire, and it's getting spicy. They've been firing people left and right, and they recently fired this guy named Sawyer because he refused to go along with their campaign of trying to character assassinate her and lying about how she mistreats her former employees, which everyone said was not true. They accessed his personal email account that he had apparently left open on a Daily Wire computer, and they read a personal email that he had sent on his own account to Candace Owens offering moral support where he didn't bad talk Daily Wire at all. So they fired him on the spot. I got a hold of a couple other sources behind the scenes, which shall not be named, and I heard that he was offered $3,000 in order to stay silent and sign a contract to not talk about any of it, which he turned down. I also heard that they've lost up to 25 people in a similar fashion, either by walking or being fired. I would assume those people are probably getting offered similar contracts. But word is that they're going to places like Tucker and PBD and Dave Ramsey, and they're finding jobs pretty easily. Props to you, Sawyer, for standing up for the right thing, not taking the money. He reached his fundraising goal to help him pay his bills pretty quick, because a little bird told me that Fuck Ben is actually Dan Bilzerian, who has been a total Chad recently. Props, Dan. Hope you don't mind me giving away your secret, buddy. I mean, it's crazy. It's almost like when you try to hold secret town halls and ban people's cell phones, it's almost like you're doing something nefarious that you don't want people to know about because it's not morally correct. This is the secret town hall they had a couple of months ago where they tried to slander Candace Owens and paint her as a raging anti-Semite to all the Daily Wire employees so they could orchestrate a smear campaign with everybody's help. Oh, yeah, speaking of smear campaigns, yesterday at Turning Point USA, Candace dropped this crazy funny bomb that she had gotten word from a friend that they were trying to send an intern who was posing as a student to try to catch her in a bad moment and record something embarrassing. And she called it out on stage.
Strangely, this is such a crazy story. But as I was headed in here, I got a frantic call from somebody. They did. They called me and they said, Candace, something very weird is happening. The Daily Wire has sent somebody secretly to record you, an intern, a PR intern, to secretly record you, to catch you in a bad moment, in a bad light. And I think that intern's name, no, to be fair, it is never the fault of a person when their employer is sending them to do something that isn't good. But I would really love it if Ariana stood up. Yeah. Okay, maybe that's a little too intimidating for you too, but apparently she got an email at 10 p.m., hopped on a plane, is pretending to be a student. And so I do just want to say to Ben Shapiro, enough. Come out into the light. Really, come on. Let's do this debate. Stop sending interns to do your dirty work.
When the internet started reporting the story, Candace confirmed it all, says she has receipts, and then Nick Fuentes jumped in and was like, oh hey, it's exactly what they did to me. Funny how that works. And of course, Ben Shapiro can't come out into the light and have a debate because while they were talking saber-rattling about a debate, he was actually going behind the scenes to get a gag order against her, so she can't comment on any of this shit. Because that's their MO. I reached out to Candace to see if she could comment on any more than she already has in public, but no luck. I think this last clip sums it up pretty well.
Do you think that the Daily Wire is complicit in censorship of certain people/topics similar to that of left-wing institutions?
I cannot talk about that.
So yeah, just your daily reminder that this is still going on. Candace is still fighting behind the scenes. She's under a gag order. The Daily Wire is in turmoil, and they're trying to do everything they can to plug all the holes in their stupid boat. Because the truth is out. The Daily Wire is Israel first, not America first. Just like an awful lot of other independent media organizations in America. Funny how that works. And they all use the exact same tactics of slander and deception and silencing people so they can keep on pushing their weird, twisted word narrative. Like this one from Andrew Claveland. Wherever you say his name.
We also believe in the cross of Christ, but if you burn the cross on somebody's lawn, it's no longer the cross of Christ. It's just a vehicle, a symbol of your toxic hatred. And so the way it was being used online as an attack on Jews,
Right. Got it. Saying Christ is king is exactly like burning the cross. Maybe just don't think too hard about it. Maybe then it'll make sense.
Sounds like everybody as dumb as trans stuff that Ben Shapiro would make a big deal about criticizing. That's absolutely ridiculous. Sounds actually more ridiculous.
The Daily Wire is to independent media the same as Mark Hamill is to the Force.
Irrelevant?
Just read the lines. Just read the lines. Here, guess what, though? Bad news. So GoFundMe suspended that guy's campaign, even though he had read. So they do that.
It's not out of nowhere. We know where it's out of.
That's right. So he raised enough money. He reached his goal. And so now GoFundMe suspends it, which I bet they're holding on to his money because that's what they did to Gray Zone.
Mm-hmm.
So he's got a different one he just launched. And it's over at it's somewhere else. Where is it?
Give, Send, Go.
Is it? No, it's something else.
Oh.
Shit. Yeah, it is. It's at Give, Send, Go. Yeah. You're right. Glenn Damos says Daily Wire had an incredible run, but after the behavior following October 7th, they've gone against their supposed values. I can't watch, read, listen other than Walsh here and there. Credibility completely demolished. It's sad. And then Ian says, you never wondered what kind of money and backing caused that incredible run?
No. It's above my pay grade.
Yeah. I've never wondered what kind of money did that. That's because crazy conspiracy talk.
Oh, what? Just because a really rich guy runs a media thing, he's going to influence it to his own will? They can be objective. You know how brave they are going against the system. Most of these people. The only ones that have integrity get fired at all these places.
But Zionism is really destroying that. That's what's destroying them.
It's the same thing as destroying Israel itself.
Is it Israel itself?
Mossad cuckoos that will kill Jews in a heartbeat. It's called the Hannibal Directive.
Yeah. Yes. They
got no problem. And by the way, your own country, America, has no problem doing that to you too.
That's right.
It's one big evil group. And it's falling apart right now. I don't know why everybody's falling apart now, but it is pretty great.
Here, this guy says $3,000 isn't enough to sell out for... in my humble opinion, someone's going to squawk. People are squawking.
Yeah, they made that fake coalition of these Catholic, we have Judeo-Christian values.
Yeah.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
$3,000, man. The Mossad is cheap. And not because they're Jewish. Come on.
That's just cheap by any standard.
That's just
got
cheap.
Nothing to do with any...
No. Truth Teller says... I want to be fully on record that I saw Ben Shapiro receive tasking from Israeli intelligence connections to Netanyahu
Oh, no shit.
when I worked next to him at Breitbart.com. When I asked him about it, he said he always kept close ties. It's time for Ben to register under FARA,
And that's
which
why
is
Bill
Foreign
Maher-
Agents Registration Act.
Yeah, Bill Maher, same deal. He has dinner with Bibi. Jordan Peterson, remember he went to Russia and he had his wife almost died, and I don't know what miracle thing saved her, and he has money now from Daily Wire. That's Mossad getting to all.
It
these
is
people.
wild. I mean, Jordan Peterson. Again, he's another one of he's like a Bobby Kennedy figure. He has a lot of good things to say. I don't agree with everything he says, obviously, right? But I think he has some good things that. And then he just totally.
Yeah, that's the part of his soul he had to sell to get
Totally.
Right.
Wow.
He is just totally wrecking any
That's why he's got
shred.
the suits with the two colors. That's his.
He's
subconscious
just totally
calling for help.
Yes.
That's why Kyle Klinsky has that blonde hair.
Yeah.
It's an imbalance, and it's going to come out of you.
Yeah.
And people are going to see it, and they start doing. Oh, I must be a different person.
I mean, he's all about logic and common sense, and then he just completely throws it out the window when it comes to. Here, let's what the Ashton Forbes says. Shapiro's downfall should be a case study in bad business management. Incredible.
He's just a puppet of the
Yeah,
Mossad, so it's not really,
Yeah.
We accuse Epstein of bad business management. He just was
Right.
a guy following orders.
How many? Are you fucking?
We
All right, over to Steph.
All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. You know, somebody just said, Jimmy, that you should read. It says, son of a THC says, Zionism is the ultimate wolf in sheep's clothing, Jimmy. Please read the Protocols of the Elders of Zion. Thank you for that recommendation.
It's not written by Zionists. It's not written by Zion. It's a forgery. Okay, it's the Elders of Sion, Scion. That's the actual people that it's describing. They just took it and wrote in Zion.
Ah,
But it's Illuminati's.
okay. Thank you, Curtis. All right. It's not really that you're pretending to be a victim. It's that since you've never dealt with your trauma, in your
Okay.
mind, you are still the victim. You're still stuck in that time and haven't moved forward. Hannah, sir. Thank you again, Hannah, sir.
Okay, ready?
Okay, back to Jimmy.
So Rachel Maddow did it again. Rachel Maddow has been, by the way, she's making Alex Jones look like Walter Cronkite with her crazy conspiracy theories.
She's talking to Oliver Darcy, the guy Alex Jones got in trouble for.
That's
saying,
right.
kicked
That's
off
right.
Twitter for, I don't even know what he said about him, but it's true.
And by the way, here's a picture of Rachel Maddow from 1899 for some reason. Those glasses look better on Kevin Spacey, I got to be honest.
they sure did.
So here's her latest crazy quackadoo psychotic break meltdown.
Oh, boy.
And she wants you to believe it. She doesn't believe this, what she's about to say, but she wants you to believe it. It's important for you to believe it. Just like it was important for you to believe that Russia could turn off your power in the middle of the winter. Just like it was important for you to believe that the Ukraine war was legit. Just like it was important for you to believe Russiagate. And that Trump was colluding with Putin against our own country. Just like it was important for you to believe that Julian Assange hacked into the DNC server and he's a bad person. Just like she knows better. Rachel Maddow knows all that's garbage. But she gets paid $100,000 a day to convince you of it. $100,000 a day. I know, that's shocking, right? That's how much Rachel Maddow gets paid. $100,000 a day. A day. And nobody. So the question she was asked was, Trump and his allies are openly talking about weaponizing the government to seek revenge against critics in media and politics, with some of his extremist allies even talking about jailing their fellow Americans, like they're doing to Trump.
Yeah.
Wow. They're going to do, they want Trump to do what we're doing to him?
I don't want you having indoor jails. I want you in a FEMA tent.
Look at all the people.
crazy
Not only they're trying to put Trump in jail. Steve Bannon they're putting in jail. They're putting all these people around him. Flynn. Look at all the people they're putting in jail.
Well, that's why they're extra afraid because
they did that to Trump.
Yeah,
and if Trump
so the
gets
more
power,
evil
he'll
shit they do. They're like, it can happen to us.
So she says so the question is, you're one of his most notable critics on television. Are you worried that you could be a target?
Oh, didn't Trump come out and say he would pardon Assange and release all the Epstein files? Remember that?
Did he say that?
Yes.
But he didn't do that either.
No. Then
He's currently saying it?
They said, will you do that? He goes, I will release this and I'll do that.
Really?
So I don't think maybe she's lying. I think of a lot of them are. Robert De Niro, he's going to come after me. And we're like, why would he come after you, Robert De Niro?
Well, he's on the Epstein list.
Yeah.
That's why. So here we go. So Maddow responds to that question. I'm worried about the country broadly. If we put someone in power who is openly avowing that he plans to build camps to hold millions of people and to root out what he's described in subhuman terms as his enemy from within.
What camps? When did he say that?
So he's talking about he's going to deport illegal aliens. So that's what
kick them out of the camps that Obama built to house the children we traffic.
So it goes on. Again, history is helpful here. He's not joking when he says this stuff. And we've seen, the history is he was already president for 4 years and he's done none of this crazy shit that you guys are all claiming he's going to do.
It wasn't a joke. It was just a lie.
Yeah. He's not joking when he says this stuff. And we've seen what happens when people take power proclaiming that kind of agenda. I think someone has been sitting cross-legged on the floor, draped in an American flag, hanging out with Keith Olbermann in his safe room for too long. That's what that sounds like.
I think someone was in the celebrity cloning center. That's what I think.
And by the way, Kurt, heeding dire warnings from history can be fun, but only when Republicans do it.
Yeah.
When Democrats do it, it's called the correspondence dinner. She goes on. She says, I think there's a little bit of head in the sand complacency that Trump only intends to go after individual people he has already singled out. Do you really think he plans to stop at well-known liberals? It also seems pretty clear that some people in politics might think they've been on a safe side, that they might even benefit from it. If they side with Trump, ask Mike Pence about how that works.
That's the whole cabal. That's the whole. She goes, oh, they're going to come after the Republicans that are in on our vile thing, whatever the hell it is that we do. This is telling you the whole cabal. That's why they're scared. Epstein files coming out? Yeah. If he's telling the truth, I'm like, hey.
Can you go on Twitter and put in Joy Behar Media and see what her latest video is that comes up? When Trump invokes the Insurrection Act to deploy the U.S. military against civilians on his first day in office, do you think he then rescinds the order on day 2? For that matter, what convinces you that, but again, he was already president for 4 years. He did none of this crazy stuff that they say he's going to do. He's never going to leave office. He's going to declare himself a dictator. I didn't know a president could just declare themselves a dictator. I thought we had a Senate and a Congress and a Supreme Court and a military and separations of power.
Okay. He said he's going to release the JFK files. And that was the one when I did Rogan, and Trump said this is Napolitano. What's the judge? Napolitano. Because if you read what I read, you wouldn't have released it either. Which, by the way, was chilling when I heard that.
So what do you think that was?
Oh, well, as you know, the CIA, well, you know, it came from the OSS, right?
No.
You've heard of that. The OSS, the Office of Special...
Okay.
Whatever from World War II, that later became the CIA. The point they leave out of the story, though, is it didn't just change names. It was a merger with the Nazis. They went 50-50.
Oh, okay.
So that's why we live in the Fourth Reich, you might have noticed. And so what's going to happen is, and so Israel's been blackmailing everyone with Epstein because Fourth Reich, we made a deal so they could have Israel, kept the Nazis here. We saved Mengele. You know,
I know.
Okay, so if he releases that, all of Hollywood, the propaganda that the intelligence community runs, if Trump is not totally lying and he releases that, the stuff that will come out, people are going to go, they're not even going to want camps for these people.
Right.
Okay, so I couldn't figure out why is Robert De Niro, why these people keep doing this. I don't think they're delusional. I suspect, even if Trump's not sincere, the very thought that it could come out, the shit that they've been up to together, is like, what do you think? That's why they got to go, oh yeah, sure, he'll kill us, the lizard people, but what about you after he's done with the lizard? I'm not saying I think they're lizards, but you understand?
Yes.
People are going to want blood when they hear what these people did.
So let me get back to this. So come back to, So when Trump invokes the Insurrection Act to deploy the U.S. military against civilians on his first day in office, do you think then he rescinds the order on day 2? For that matter, what convinces you that these massive camps he's planning are only for migrants? So yes, I'm worried about me, but only as much as I'm worried about all of us.
See, I read this different now. When I hear this shit, I'm looking through a lens of...
So let me play this for you. Here's Joy
collusion.
Behar, I think just yesterday. That doesn't matter when this is, but she's going to... So Trump's going to go after his political enemies. Listen to what Joy Behar accidentally, unwittingly reveals. She accidentally, unwittingly reveals that the people who are accusing, saying Trump is going to do that, they're actually doing it right now. And I'll play it for you.
These are all of the people in the Trump orbit who have been, who basically ended up in prison. These are all of them.
That's not even all.
You got Steve Bannon, Peter Navarro, Michael Cohen, Paul Manafort, George Papadopoulos, Roger Stone, Rick Gates, and Alan Weisselberg. They've all gone to prison. So when you feel bad about the system and you think, gee, we're going to get stuck with the system is working. These are all of the...
So,
they've figured out the real criminals.
And now put Trump in there, because now there's a sentencing date for Trump because he got convicted of that bullshit thing about paying hush money to a porn star.
In 2016, imagine if you charge someone with torture, the thing again, the war crime.
Right.
Well, let's look forward. Oh no, we can look back for nonsense, can't we?
George Bush and Dick Cheney walked the earth free men, but so she's there nominating she's there naming all the people in Trump's orbit that they've put in prison now, including Trump. They're going to try. They've already convicted him.
Oh, Cheney's fat pig daughter's running at January 6th. Yeah, no, listen. I don't have any trust that Trump's going to do what he says. It's got nothing to
do with her weight.
But if he was going to... fuck her. Fuck the whole family. They're devils to me.
Yeah, but it's just...
If he did do all this, making massive camps just for the one fat Cheney bitch, that's fine with me. He's not going to. But they're afraid of it just... And I'm guessing the stuff he didn't release last time because he was friendly with Pompeo, right? I hope a little bit if he comes in, he at least knows... not to do the thing as last time. I do have to reject and renounce your fat shaming. Why? It's not like it's helping. It's not like it sweetens the pot. I do. If she was cool, I wouldn't bring it up. I reject and denounce. So the question then is, what important lesson can we learn from history to help us in this moment? Maddow says, it's somehow comforting and discomforting at the same time to look at previous instances where factually unhinged conspiratorial narratives have taken hold in mainstream politics. You mean like Russiagate? Yeah. You mean like that unhinged conspiratorial narrative? I'm discomfited. Russiagate? She's describing herself. Yeah. She's describing herself in this answer. Well, like our foreign policy, it's okay when we do it. One of the takeaways from that history is just the confirmation that, yes, we're quite susceptible to that as a country, but also that patient, responsible, consistent debunking, like we've done here at this show, like they've done at the Gray Zone, to debunk Russiagate, and Glenn Greenwald, responsible, consistent debunking and criticism of those lies has an effect on the American people. It takes a long time and it doesn't reach everyone, but it can influence the median voter in a way that ultimately can be decisive. Well, hopefully we've done that with Russiagate. Yeah. So she's talking about herself. She's the one spreading unhinged, crazy conspiracies along with the rest of the media, along with the entire Democratic Party. They've been doing nothing but spread unhinged conspiracies, along with January 6th, along with the January 6th committee. Where was the hinging of that conspiracy, the January 6th thing? By the way, that other story we did where that Fuentes kid said the Daily Wire did him that way, he was there urging people into the building. That's what Max, what's her name, from Gray Zone. Anya saw him, and I've seen the footage of it. I've seen the footage of it where he's like, we got to go in the Capitol, just like the other guy. So you think that he was... go on Gray Zone. They report on him. There's that one guy who's running for office. Do you think he was doing it on his own volition, or he was a Ray Epps? It's some weird op that he's from. Really? Yeah. I've told you all this. Nick Fuentes? Yeah, Gray Zone reported on him. You think he's an op? without a doubt. Without a doubt. I don't even know if he's really. I thought he was closeted gay this whole time. I think he might be a triple agent. Followers of his thing's called America First, right? He says stupid racist shit. He says this every year he makes like a Hitler speech.
Oh, really? I don't know anything about this guy.
Okay, well, it's an op. And I don't know where the hell he came from.
Oh, really?
It's some weird test tube baby. This America First thing is all these young guys. Remember Richard Spencer, CNN contributor?
Oh,
Richard Spencer?
Was it?
And he's an obvious gay guy?
Yeah.
You see the pattern here of these weird...
But they talked about how dapper he was all the time, right?
Yeah, he's dapper. I think it's some kind of Catholic thing. They're like, they're all like Catholic, so...
And you think Spencer's gay?
Look at him and hear him talk. Of course he is. He hangs out with all slim dudes. And they all look at like having sex with a woman like a farm chore. That's not my quote. That's this guy Josh from. Anyway, Kino Casino. If you watch, well, you don't watch him, but anybody watching, they do whole things on Nick Fuentes. His movement's like done. It was called America First. Now think about that. America First, and they're all kind of racist, and they don't like. They want to save the white race. Does that sound like somebody sabotaging the idea of America?
America First.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So just off the name, you should know it's bullshit.
Oh.
They're not America First, okay? It's to make it look bad. The guy don't like doing his job anymore. He probably got hired like that Harry Sisson, that creep. He's the same as that guy, okay? A little more sinister because they had pedos and stuff they welcome in that he knew, just like the Catholic Church. They welcomed. It's crazy if you find out what they did. They got all these young guys that are kind of Asperger's-y, and they're skinny and they don't know their sexuality. And it's crazy what they did. Everything's the same story. Every little group is the same bullshit story. It's all a fucking
I never thought about it like that. Yeah.
Well, I didn't, but Max, Anya, saw him, and then Kino Casino played the video that Max described when he was a guest. He said Anya saw him, and remember we showed how he ruined some candidate by standing next to him on purpose because the guy said he didn't like him? Yeah. Remember he went with...
Didn't he go with Kanye to visit Trump?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
So
and
that's
that dipshit Milo, that other dipshit, that's like he was gay, but now
he fixed himself
off of sodomy. Like, everyone go away with your weird. Just go do your weird thing and stop getting involved. But they get picked ahead of time. So then, and I promise you, just like you didn't know who Nick Fuentes was, even though we've heard of him, you think Trump does? But he's there with Kanye, right? And then the reporters can go, oh my God.
He's here with the guy who's a racist, who's openly says racist Nazi things.
Yes, all the things are fake. All the things are, it was an industry plant. Every single thing, and the way you can tell is when someone just suddenly stops telling the truth. I don't mean you agree with them. I mean, I've seen this bullshit where they go, oh, you're just saying to get secret Iran, whatever bullshit I've seen people say on Twitter. I know for a fact you're too abrasive to be able to do. So am I. I can't just suddenly like, oh, but this Israel murder thing is good. You know, like I don't have the ability. I'm what's called a loose cannon. I've always been called that at every job. And I started to wonder, like, why can't we just always tell the truth? Why is that a crazy person?
Yeah.
Like, why is that crazy to always tell the truth? Think about how crazy it is to do that. And why? Can we just tell the truth all the time? Why not? Who's stopping it?
They called me a conspiracy, not only a loose cannon, they called me a conspiracy theorist at the Young Turks because I debunked their bullshit conspiracy about Russiagate that they were screaming at. They still do. They still scream it at the top of their lungs.
You're not supposed to be on. Whenever I start hearing this bullshit about my truth, which came out of Oprah, by the way, so you can go ahead and throw that shit out.
How about my lived experience?
Is there another kind of experience anywhere in the universe besides lived? You mean experience that
I didn't live? I had
based on true events. You mean events?
I have an experience. I had an experience while I was temporarily dead.
You had an NDE?
Yeah, I had an NDE, not near-death experience. All right, that's it for today. You're not going to be here Friday, right? You're going to be somewhere.
Rick Bronson's in Minnesota.
In Minneapolis at the.
It's outside. It's Bloomington or something.
Oh, really? It's not in the Mall of America anymore.
Maybe it's technically. I have no idea.
Is it in the mall?
I thought it would be, right? But that's Minneapolis, isn't it? Bloomington, here, I'm going to read the town.
We have a locals that we're going to do just for about 15 minutes, just so you know. It'll take me 5 minutes to get through the. Don't worry, we'll do a quick turnaround.
Bloomington, Minnesota, House of Comedy.
Okay, so it just doesn't matter where it is. Go to Bloomington, go to houseofcomedy.com.
Maybe it is the mall. I don't know.
We'll find out.
I do not have the slightest
So
idea.
before it was the House of Comedy, I worked there. It was booked by Dennis Miller's brother, Rich Miller, who
he always booked me.
He was a nice guy. I liked
him.
I like Rich, and I was going a few minutes over.
Mm-hmm.
And the manager thought it was a smart idea to turn the lights on because I was going over
in the Mall of America.
Yeah.
Oh, but that's one of the worst.
That was before it was Rick Bronson's House of Comedy.
Patrice O'Neill and David Tell, a week apart, called me from there and said, "I hate this. These people are the worst here. It's like Canadians without humility." So when I went, I did fine.
I mean, the audiences were fine.
Well,
I'm talking about the people who ran that club at that time, which is a totally different thing.
There was a manager at that time who was an obvious gay guy, pretending not like a very Nick Fuentes-esque guy. Who was obviously gay, and I didn't know he was pretending not to be gay. Okay, I was there with my girlfriend at the time, and he made some crazy inappropriate joke about my girlfriend giving a blowjob, and he did it so gay. So that would be uncomfortable if it was like, but he goes, "Hey, why don't you ask your girl who was sucking my dick yesterday?" Like he did it like, and we both were like, honey, is this true?
Where was this?
Minnesota.
Oh, really?
He was like, it was like the 40-year-old virgin where he's like breast like a bag of sand. You could tell he's like, I don't know, what do these heteros do to look like they love pussy? And it was just bizarre. So we're like faking that he, you're in a position of like, is it impolite to be like, dude, come on, we both know you're gay. See, that's what I'm talking about. You can't just say the truth all the time. No. Why not? It's mean.
Because it gets people in trouble. All right, Kurt, everybody go check him out this weekend. We'll see you next week.
All right, bye, guys.
All right. Bye-bye.
Over to Steph.
All right, thank you. Jimmy, you want to take a quick break?
Yeah.
He has a read. Okay, camera 4. All right, perfect. All right, I'm going to read these really quickly. Hannah, sir, it's not really that you're pretending to be a victim. It's that since you've never dealt with your trauma, in your mind you are still a victim. You're still stuck in that time and haven't moved forward. Yes, I've met those people, Hannah, sir. They haven't been able to move forward. Tara Vincent, thank you so much. Or is it Tara? Thank you from the Rockfin. Thomas, Autonomous Anonymous, thank you so much. Brian Ill, thank you, Brian. Tiller, thank you so much, Brian. It was Tiller. Thank you so much, Tiller.
I know.
Brian, thank you so much, Brian.
Out more about him.
Spider fan, grazie. Big camera 4. Jimmy's going to take a break. Thank you. Tiller, again, DNA tests that leaders of our countries and institutions wonder if they're all related. Should anyone assuming power over someone else, police, courts, governments, reveal if they've taken a blood oath? Tiller. Thank you, Tiller. Wizard Death Music. Thank you, Wizard Death Music. Much appreciated. Spider fan, you're terrific. Thank you. Brian, you're back. Thank you so much, amigo. You can show me now. Tiller. Thank you, Tiller, again for your generosity. Tiller, again, grazie. Tiller, one more time. Thank you so much. Vienticus Prime, once again, buddy, good to hear from you. Let me see if that's anybody else. No, that is it for today, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back Friday, 1 p.m. And now we're going to get set up for locals. We're going to do a quick Q&A with Jimmy, 15 minutes, and we'll be right back in 15 minutes. And go ahead and do something nice for somebody. Bye.
Hey, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down there for more AM Joy and the rest of MSNBC. And click on any of the videos right here to watch the latest interviews and highlights. And you can get more videos from MSNBC for free every day with our newsletter. Just visit
Isn't it swell? The memes make themselves. They found a rabbi hole, tunnels and all. There's Jews in the walls. Isn't it bliss? The rabbinical grace soiling the mattresses. Well, let me tell you. If I were Rabbi Shmuley and diddle 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 digga digga diddle diddle dum, all day long I'd diddle little bums. If I were a Shmuley man, I'd peddle all my dildos, dreidel dildos, selling dildos with my daughter and her mum. If I were a Jewish Shmuley man, I'd be digging with a dildo in my bum. I'd wear a grotesque nose and go grab some goyim right on the nipple with a pinch. A Shabbos lap dance brace for the youngest mensch.
At this time, more than any other time, you know, revolution is necessary. It is necessary. Not only based on what has happened with the MOVE organization, you know, the babies that have been murdered, you know, MOVE adults that have been murdered, bombs being dropped on us, but past that to what is happening with all black people, so-called minority people, you know, money poor people. You know, this government, as has been said earlier, has waged war on us. But you know, something about us, particularly here in America, we don't really understand that. You know, we don't really know what war is. You know, for black people, for poor people, that people see as good, that they wasn't forced to do, that they didn't do to try to keep black people appeased, you know, and calm down so that black people wouldn't riot. A prison situation is a crystallized example of that. You can make phone calls in prison. They have movies in prison, but they don't have those things because they just want to be nice to prisoners. They have those things because they know damn well if they don't have, you know, people being able to contact their family, if they don't have, you know, facilities for people to sit there and watch movies, people are going to be frustrated, upset, and they're going to direct that frustration at them prison administrators, and they're going to have riots on their hands. You know, they're going to have people in them prisons turning them prisons out. That's why they have movies. That's why they have access to phones the way they do. And a stop to it when we don't like it, or encouraging it when it's something that's in our interest. You know, we have to call the shots. The people have to take the reins of this system and start dictating, you know, what we need, what needs to be done. And, you know, taking the initiative to do it ourselves. We can't rely on this system. I mean, you know, don't people see what's happening? Every single confrontation that MOVE people have been involved in, every single issue, you know, oppression, economic issues, every single issue facing our people, you know, is something that can be dealt with very, very simply. All people got to do is make their wishes known. All people have to do is stand up and say, listen, we're not accepting that. Unity is the key. Unity is the key to revolution. Revolution ain't nothing to be afraid of. It ain't nothing to shy away from. Revolution, contrary to what officials, you know, this system and those backing the officials running the system, you know, want people to believe that revolution means violence, you know, means blood in the street. I'm saying it can get to that point, but it don't have to be violent. You know, when people come together and take a strong stand on an issue, this government don't have no choice but to listen. Where you think they get their authority from? They don't have no power, but they do have authority to do certain things. Where you think they get it from? They get it from us, from the people. You know, they get it from us accepting the things that they do to be done to stop it. Then you have some people who want to then turn around and say, yeah, well, you know, it's the best we have, and want to make excuses. The time for excuses is over. It's over. You know, every man, woman, and child has to be involved in this revolution. Not only has to be, but is, whether you want to be or not. I mean, our babies gave their lives for this revolution on May 13th. You know, men, women, and children were murdered. And not just move babies, you know. What about all of the young men, women, you know, children 8, 9 years old shot down on the street by cops, you know, by drug pushers? I mean, you know, where do you think that mentality comes from? It comes from this system, from the mentality of this system of getting over, you know, making a quick buck, you know. I'm saying that's where that needs to be done to stop it. Then, you know, what I want people to really, really understand is that it's past time. It is past time for poor people, black people, you know, to realize that this system has failed you. It has failed you. You can't get nothing from it. And what people got to do is withdraw our support from it and start doing for ourselves. That's what we got to do. You know, how long are people going to sit back and beg, you know, this government to do what's right when for hundreds of years all you've gotten is a slap in the face? All you've gotten is this government kicking your ass. That's all. That's all black people have ever gotten from this government.